wanted to speak on behalf of our board because we are wanted to collectively convey to the community both our concern, but also our pride in their response. So, and I wrote a little statement. So on behalf of the board, I wanted to say to the students and the families of TA Brown that the board is with you in working closely with our administration to further understand how this happened and what will become of your school and your future. We know this dislocation has caused confusion, angst, maybe anger, and certainly frustration, and for the inconvenience, we are very sorry. But when we come into material information that affects the safety of our students, we must not wait to act. We are proud of your resilience and the determination by our teachers to make this transition as smooth as possible. And I ask our broader Austin communities to please consider financial donations to Austin Ed Fund and mark them TA Brown. We will use these funds to support the transition and purchase supplies and books for our 300-plus students. And additionally, the board is talking about other ways in which we can show support, either through a potential work day at Allen and Riley, or also help with the donation of supplies.
Thank you, President Pace. So as we know, as we discussed last week, part of our larger facility master plan, we are looking at all of our school sites and all of our facilities in Austin ISD. Once we've done that, we take another review of some schools where we found a little bit more and we needed further study, and that was the situation with TA Brown. And so today it's, again, to provide an update to our constituency about what we're doing there at TA Brown. And first of all and foremost, I do want to echo Trustee Pace's comments about thanking the leadership and the community of TA Brown. We know it's a challenging situation. Nobody wants to be in this situation at this point in time, but it is what it is, and we have to work together to make sure kids come to school every single day and learn. We know that's what we have to work towards, and that's what our staff members are actually doing right now as we speak. So as we know, last week, we did do an additional in-depth study about the actual flooring and the crawl space at TA Brown, and that had been happening over time. We realized that based on feedback from our engineers and who were doing that work, we could not continue there at school. Safety was an issue, and we wanted to make sure that we kept safety of our students and our staff and our parents at the forefront. And that's why we decided not to have school then on Friday, because we needed time to review and see next steps. On Saturday, we did have a meeting at Lanier High School for our parents. Well, first of all, we had a meeting with our teachers, our staff members from TA Brown, to explain to them the situation, to show them the same pictures that we had shared with the media the day before at the press conference. Then we also had a meeting with parents. We had about 200 parents there asking questions about what happened, what are the situations, and what are the next steps. So that's really what we were doing there with them. A lot of good questions, a lot of questions that led to, that were about short-term issues and then about long-term. So in the short term, just as we said last week, our students who are at TA Brown from pre-K or kindergarten will be going to Riley Elementary School. We also have some special needs classes that will be going there as well. Our students from grades 1 through 5 will be at the Allen facility. Currently, as you know, we do have a partnership with Child Inc., and we actually do have students there as well as part of our partnership at the Allen facility. So we currently have students there in one wing of that facility. Over the weekend, we had movers go over to TA Brown and start packing up materials, bringing those materials over to Allen and to Riley. Today, we had parents visit Riley if they wanted to. We provided an opportunity for parents to go to Riley Elementary School to see the facilities for pre-K and kindergarten students. At 6:30 tonight, we will have students and families from TA Brown, grades 1 through 5, who will be going to the Allen facility. They will be touring the facility tonight. Our teachers and our staff members have been working over the weekend, have been there today to start unpacking materials, to start working through and preparing for Wednesday. Wednesday will be the first day coming back for our students from TA Brown. And again, it'll be pre-K or kindergarten at Riley Elementary School. And students in grades 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 will be at the Allen facility. We will provide transportation for our students. So we will have neighborhood pickups for our students at TA Brown. They will be transported via AISD school bus to Riley, and other students in grades 1 through 5 will be transported to the Allen facility. That's the same thing going home. So we will be providing transportation for our students. Our students, and something that was a big question for our parents, was really about their teacher. Will their teachers continue, and will they have the teacher that they started off with at the beginning of the school year? The answer is yes, they will. Our teachers will continue working directly with those students who they had in their classrooms. We're not splitting up classrooms. We are having teachers move directly with their students, but we know we have to provide time and support for our teachers to open up, in essence, as a new classroom at a different facility. I do also want to thank our folks and our staff members at Riley Elementary School have been so open and positive in helping make the best of this situation. As far as long-term situations, this is, as I mentioned earlier, it's part of our facility master planning process. We're taking a review of all our facilities. When we find something that we need to do a little bit more, that's what we're going to do. We're going to study that a little bit more. We're in this situation now. As far as long-term, the students will continue at Riley or at Allen based on their grade level. Next school year, the school will not be ready to move into. So that's still a decision point as to what's going to happen for 17-18. But that we have not determined that action as of yet. We do want to seek parent input and staff input on that decision to where it's best to educate our students. So that one was still going to be coming. It's also still part of a facility discussion for our Fab Pack. We're looking at all of our facilities and seeing the impact that this is going to have on the overall proposal that will be coming to the board in the future. On Wednesday, we will have district staff members there who will be working with our students and our teachers to make sure that it's a welcoming environment, that we open the doors to our families and our students and they feel welcome at the facility, and our schools will be ready. We will have breakfast at the different facilities. We'll also have lunch there as well, so that will also continue. So with that, that'll conclude my questions. The main thing here is that we are dealt with the situation where we didn't think we would be at this situation today, but we are, and we had to make a decision. And it has to be done as efficiently, but within the best interests of the students in mind. And so that's why we decided to go to these locations. There will be questions that come along the way. We will face those and then work with our parents and our staff members regarding those questions. So at this point, just as an update to our constituency, we will continue providing updates via email and also school messenger and also face-to-face meetings with our parents and our staff members as we continue on sort of the implementation of how we're going to live at these two sites for the remainder of the school year. So with that, we can open up to questions, and if Renee, you can facilitate any questions.
I think that some people will naturally think, oh my goodness, could there be any other AISD schools out there that have these same types of issues underneath that can't be seen? So, I'm sure the engineers have been doing the same types of checking with those campuses, but do you know of any other campuses?
You're right, and they did. Facilities. Oh, I'm sorry. So the question is about other facilities. Are there other facilities where we may find this same situation? I believe there are 60, we can get the numbers for you exactly, but there are 60 facilities that have this type of crawl space, and all of them were studied. Right now, what I know is this is the only facility that's impacted in this way. So at this point, I just know about TA Brown, but as we continue our assessment of our facilities, other situations may come up. And so we're just going to have to take one at a time and deal with them in this way. The long term, of course, will be the facility master planning process that we're following.
It's great that you guys caught it before it got out of hand, but what kind of got us to this point? What got it to that level of degradation?
Well, I can speak to what I've heard and what I understand from the engineer. I'm not an engineer, but in our conversations with them. And so we can also provide more detail for you. But what really comes to this point is having this crawl space and having humidity or condensation accumulate over time that then creates some type of cracks in the foundation and the structure. That over time creates bigger issues. And that's where we find ourselves today. I also think it's important to note that because we had these questions too, maybe from parents or teachers that, well, I was at the facility and it looked good to me. Well, there are some things that maybe to me they look right, but it really isn't. There's something in the structural pieces that have to be studied by professionals who are certified to do this and who will come together and have their discussions and their reviews and then make those determinations. I do think it's important to note that some of these issues that we're studying, it's not necessarily driving by a school or just even being inside the school. There are other type of structural issues that do occur, and we deal with them.
If I may add, The structure is 59 years old, and it is built on basically shifting ground. And so it's built on steel beams that have been eroded over time. Imagine water dropping on limestone, creating a cave. Well, we've got water and a lot of condensation because this is a very humid area. And over time, the water has eroded the bottom of these struts. And on top of the struts is a concrete flooring that's held together with mesh. And that's what the floors of the building, the main building, because there have been additions to the building, have been put. It's a very complicated situation. The engineers at the time in 1957 did a really good job, but time and wear and water and that kind of thing. And the ground itself is not extremely stable. So 59 years of wear and tear, and we were concerned about a sinkhole effect occurring in the main parts of the building. So we're not going to take any chances on that. I mean, I don't want anybody's classroom dropping through a hole.
Is this the first time in October when structural engineers actually went into the crawl space and did an assessment?
They did an assessment in the summer. It's my understanding the first time they did the crawl space because.
In the 59 years.
Oh, in the 59 years, I've not been here for 59 years in the school system, so I don't know.
Do you have any records of that?
I'm sure we would have that in our facilities. If our facilities people can facilitate that for you, and they'll get you that information about examining. You have to understand we have 130 structures built in things added over time. The oldest one is about 100 and what? How old is Pease? Like
140?
140 years old. So we've had to maintain, and then we've had less and less money from the state to maintain our buildings. And so our philosophy is we put all that money in education, in the actual classroom, in the teacher salary. So facilities have taken a big hit because the state has not lived up to its responsibility for paying for education. Basically, that's basically what it is about. I'm not making that stuff up.
Our trustees have a regularly scheduled meeting that starts in about 3 minutes, so maybe one more if anyone has it.
These report cards that came out, I think one of our reporters did a story on Friday just about some of the grades of the other schools, and I know they run the gamut with different things that they're graded on. Is there anything else concerning that rises to this level that's come out of those report cards of the worst case scenarios?
The question is about the report cards and this assessment. So we're doing two types of assessments. One is the educational suitability, and then the other is about the actual facility, the facility condition assessment. So those are being reviewed right now by campus staff and also by district level staff. So there may be other issues that may come up. At this point, we have them all. We have posted them on our website for folks to review and to see. You are going to see adjustments. So as an example, because we're working in real time, you may see the one for TA Brown maybe is at a different level compared to a different school. That score hasn't been adjusted to reflect what we actually found out about the floor. So right now with these facilities, if you do have those questions, and I appreciate that, please let us know because we may have some modification that we have internally, but we actually have not updated what we actually have on our website. Because part of this process is for either the ECA, educational suitability piece, or the facilities condition assessment for our campus staff and our parents to look at that to say, yes, this is correct, this is what I see. Not so much about the structural pieces, but about the actually what's there. Like there is a sidewalk that leads to accessibility. Well, a report may say that, but maybe in life it really isn't the situation. And so that's what this is intended to do. So you may find some differences, and we have not been able to update everything into our website that would reflect current conditions.
What is TA Brown's current assessment? I know it was 40, and I had heard Friday that it might drop into the 20s. Do you have a current grade for it?
I do not, but we can certainly provide that to you.
Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you.